Briscoes promo, you just can't do it. Like, I think the Briscoes would be fine in WWE, but I think Hero and Claudio are more ready for it. But, I'd love to see both those guys in there, because they'll still do a great job, no matter what. But, basically, then after the match, Jerry Lawler has just had this thing where he's just been ripping on Nexus this whole time. And so finally Otunga stood up to Jerry and just ripped off his headset, and they had an intense stare down. And throughout this whole thing, it's like you're supposed to feel sorry for Jerry Lawler, but, really, I don't blame Otunga and McGillicuddy at all for wanting to beat the shit out of Lawler, because Lawler's just sitting there talking shit about him for, no reason. So, I don't know. This storyline is stupid, quite frankly, because I have no interest in seeing Jerry Lawler in the ring against David Otunga at all. And I don't know why Jerry seems to want to rip on Nexus.
And Otunga's really ran his course. I feel sorry for the guy, but he's kind of just dead in the water, to me at least.
Yeah, but he's at least improved a little. He's definitely better now than he was when he first came in. So, at least there's some improvement, which is better than none. But I still don't have any interest in seeing the man wrestle.
Well, you got to put it like this. He's barely maybe a year in the game already. So you got to understand he's still green.
Well, then he needs to be in FCW then.
Yeah, then that's WWE's fault for bringing him up way too early. Which, they've done it before. So, next up we had the Divas match, and with Bella beating Kelly with the X Factor. Yeah, I never have anything to say about the Divas. So, any of you want to have anything to say? Shall we just move on to the main event?
I do. I think that they need to stop portraying Kelly as some powerhouse or some, she's, no offense, she's just there to be beautiful. That's it. And the thing is that they need to get it in their head that Beth Phoenix is the key diva, and when Kong comes back, and who was that? I forgot the other girl's name that was with her. Natalia. You need to focus on that. Have a power game. Start bringing in women that can wrestle. And it's just like, are we watching a modeling show, or are we watching, women wrestle? And the thing is, it doesn't bother me if they're these hot-looking models, but at least let them be able to wrestle, and then you have a double whammy, instead of just having, they can't really wrestle, but they're hot.
Well, that's the way that they want to do things, which I don't think anybody agrees with. Phil, do you have anything to say, or should we just move on?
Women's wrestling sucks. I miss Trish and Lita, if anything, and we can move on.
Alright, so we had the main event. Sheamus and John Cena taking on Christian and Mark Henry. This match was better than I thought it was going to be. Sheamus did a great job playing the babyface and Carol, getting beat down. And finally, I liked the ending portion of the match. Unfortunately, it was Cena pinning Christian via the FU, which, why you pin Christian when he's having a title match the next night? That's just the way that they treat Christian. But more importantly, after the match, Triple H is shown backstage talking to CM Punk. He says that the Punk match with Nash has been canceled, and that Triple H will now go one-on-one with CM Punk at Night of Champions. And so before we get into that whole, what we think about it, the news making the rounds this morning is Lords of Pain reported that WWE officials made a decision sometime in the past week or so that Kevin Nash won't be wrestling for them. It is likely Nash will stick around for the time being and participate in the occasional angle, but unless something changes, he won't be having a match. And that's why the match will not happen. And basically, Nash recently went to Pittsburgh to do physicals for the company, and something happened there that made them decide that they don't want Nash in the ring taking bumps and doing something physical whatsoever. So that's pretty much, apparently something happened in the physical that they feel like they don't want Nash to wrestle, which is probably a smart move on their part. Which, unfortunately, yeah, go ahead.
That bothers me about that. It's like, why do you bring him back at Royal Rumble? Why do you bring him back?
Well, I can understand Royal Rumble. It's a one-time, like, holy shit, here he's returning for, we don't see him in about 10 years. or so.
Yeah, that was really a nostalgia thing. They put some Just for Men on them, and you know they were just having a nostalgia moment.
I don't know, but with him, it's just like I can't. With his character, like Taker, the Undertaker, I get it, and I'm good with that. But with Nash, I don't know. Maybe it's because watching him WCW days with the NWO and how he was such a powerhouse, and to me they make him look so weak, and he can't come back because of his knee problems and stuff. It's just keep him as maybe a general manager or just get rid of him. It's just, to me, it's just a pointless thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I think what the whole thing, though, with getting back to Triple H and CM Punk, is really they rushed through that whole angle. At least the earliest that I would have done Triple H and CM Punk is Survivor Series, because that would have been a big match going into one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, and you would have something special. Because just Punk constantly getting under the skin of Triple H. Like, each week you could do it even more and even more. You could have, like, Triple H teasing, like, I'm about to punch Punk, and then you can see him hesitate and be like, damn it, I promised I wouldn't get physical. And then finally it's just like, they can have the same thing. It's like, I've talked to the board of directors. I'm going to get to face you one-on-one Survivor Series. You're going to get what's coming to you. It could have done such a great job building up. Instead, it's just like they just threw it away at the end of the show like, oh, you're just facing me. It's like you didn't even really have time to react to it because it was showing off the air.
They probably should have saved that for the Super SmackDown that they were going to have.
Yeah, because it's sort of like, what the hell did I just see? Like, really? Like, you spent this whole show building up Kevin Nash and CM Punk, and then in the end, it's like, he's just facing Triple H. Like, it didn't really feel like a special announcement, even though that could be such a huge match.
Right, well, because you had the crowd and then you had the music background overshadowing them, and it was kind of muffled, and it was, and like you said, it was kind of rushed dialogue, so that should have been saved for another day.
So, Goldie, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I was basically confused. I just didn't. I understand now why they didn't want to have the match, but why even put that out there that they were going to wrestle, and then and have that old squash of a match between the Miz and CM Punk? Why? It was just a waste of time.
Yeah, and you would think that they would know. They knew beforehand about Nash's condition, so you know, like Goldie was saying, what was the point?
Yeah, so they said that we'd find out more about it on SmackDown tonight, so I guess we'll just absolutely see. But I mean, would it have really? I guess I didn't really want to see CM Punk versus Kevin Nash, but the match is still intriguing, and it's like they built it up. It's like, just go ahead, put Nash in there one more time, have Punk beat him, and then move on. It's like, would that have really killed him? Because I think there's interest there in Nash versus Punk. I think that they've done a great job building it up because they made me want to see that match, even though I have no interest in seeing that match.
No.
So
I had no problem with that match. I kind of, you know, because Punk's a submission, he has the kicks. It's believable to me.
I didn't think that Nash would be physically able to sustain a match with him with the kicks and the submissions. That's why I said I'd rather see him against CM Punk because their styles will be a little bit more matching. Like, I would rather see CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. I think that would be a better match than Del Rio versus Cena. That's just my...
Yeah. Yeah, well, I really don't want to see Cena in a title match anytime soon.
And it's like, why is he even getting a title match? I mean, Punk has beat him twice in 2 pay-per-views, and he beat him again. Well, it was just the number one contender thing. I understand that, but he shouldn't have got that shot, and he knows it. It's just like, what happened to where you needed to earn your way to a number one contender spot? It's non-existent anymore, and especially for Cena. And it's like it's killing his character, and he knows it. He knows it. That's why he's getting booed at his hometown, and you know, it's just he's killing his character. Yes, he has his legions of fans. For how long?
in my mind, it just gives him a sense of entitlement.
Yeah. I think if anything, if he was smart, if he didn't want to go heel or whatever, he needs to lay off the title for a year or two, and just have feuds and matches and stuff, and still hold him as this awesome hero or whatever for the kids, because he could still pull that off. He could still do his movies that don't really sell except to his fans, and doing the National Guard thing and the thing for the troops, and he could still be a top guy. If he would just stay away for a year or two, people would at least give him more respect, and he needs to improve on what he does as a wrestler, as in moves, to make himself more credible, so then no one can really question that. But I don't think they'll ever do that.
Yeah, this is the same complaint that everyone had with Hogan, and he hasn't changed at all. So
yeah, Cena's not changing.
He's not.
Well, and then at the end of the day, when his career is said and done, no one's going to be respecting him.
Well, it depends. If he just leaves and has his career, leaves, and then never comes back, and if he says that I'm done with wrestling and then never comes back, then I respect him. But if he's like Hogan or like Flair or Terry Funk or anybody like that, it's like I'm retired. 1 year later, I'll just wrestle again. And maybe not.
I understand Flair. I kind of understand Hogan now. Terry Funk, go back and forth on that one. I think it's more of when the game is going to tell him to go away than an actual factual need. So, but with CM Punk, I would not. I just couldn't see CM Punk waking up one day and him being Daniel Bryan. I just don't see it at all. I think it was an earth-changing event when he put on the STFU. That's it. That was an earth-changing event, like Hogan doing a suplex. It's a rare eclipse of it happening.
Were you talking about Cena or CM Punk?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about Cena.
I don't think he does the STFU.
My bad. I apologize.
All right, so overall on Raw, what would you guys give it? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle? I'd say it was thumbs up show. I enjoyed it overall. Didn't really hate anything too much on the show. Red, what about you?
This is a tough one. I mean, I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle. I want to give it a thumbs up, but I just can't. There was good matches, but there's a lot of things that make sense to me. So thumbs in the middle.
I give it a thumbs down. The first 30 minutes was great. After that, it went downhill.
All right, so 3 totally different ratings. I don't know if this will be normal or not, but interesting. So, anybody else have anything to say, or should we just wrap up the show?
No, I think that'll be it.
There is one commentary that I would like to bring up. I really do not understand why they have the same people from Raw wrestling the next night on SmackDown. They could have spreaded it out a little bit, especially since 2 of the people are supposed to be having a so-called important title match in a steel cage. I really don't see. I don't understand that. They could have split it up. There's enough stars to put out in 2 shows. You could have had CM Punk on Raw, and then you could have had Cena on SmackDown the next night. There's more. There are more superstars that could be shown that you could have split up some more time with. I really don't see what's the point of you having.
And they probably should have made Raw a 3-hour show as well, to go along with the Super Show SmackDown. And then you could have added and showed more of the wrestlers, because I don't think that really was a Super Show. To me, anyways.
It started out as a Super Show. It started out. And then after that, buckets.
Alright, so that was the debut of LWRadio. I'd like to thank everybody listening for giving us a chance, and we will be doing more reviews in the future of other promotions as well. So stick around for Red, for Goldie, I'm P-Star, and we'll see you guys next time.